Hey, welcome to your practice for warming up the legs and the spine. We'll start by sitting up nice and tall. Hands rest in your lap. You can gently close the eyes and just notice how it feels to be in your body today at this time. Allow the breath to begin to smooth and even. No extra effort in the breath. Just breathing in and out of the nose. Setting intention for your practice, drawing your hands to heart center. And we'll make our way onto our back. So if you have a blanket spread out like I do underneath you, just make it a little more cushy. Just making yourself comfortable as you lay down on your back. And take a moment here in Shavasana just to let the full body settle into the earth. And again, come back to your breath. Let the breath be easy throughout this practice. Bringing the legs a little closer together, reach the arms up and overhead. Breath nice and tall. Keep that breath nice and easy as you reach a little bit more through one side of the body and then the other. Stretching the heels, pointing the toes. Again, keeping the breath nice and smooth. Wiggle the hands and the feet here. I'm starting to warm things up. And now draw your right knee in towards your chest, hug it in with your hands, and reach that leg away, reach the arms overhead. I'm going to coordinate this with the breath. Exhale, left knee into the chest, hug it in, and inhale, release and stretch the arms and the legs. And then continue going back and forth with your breath. So you may be at a different pace. Just follow your breath and smooth out the movement as the breath smooths out. Just last round, equal amount on each side here. Starting to move the energy in the body. And then keep that right knee in towards the chest, grab behind the right thigh, start to circle through the foot. So circling, keeping the left leg grounded, shoulders soft, circle in both directions here. Spread the toes. And then extend that right leg towards the sky any amount, and then draw the knee back in, heel to the seat. Back and forth like that. Use your hands. The leg doesn't need to move straight, just a comfortable stretch in the back of the leg. As Baxter comes to say hi. And now stay there with that leg extended any amount. Keep that breath steady, feel back on the ground. And then the knees start to circle that knee in one direction. It could be a small circle through the hip in the hip socket and then circling the other direction. Draw that knee into the chest. And then kick that right leg out to the sides and draw that leg back in. And then use your right elbow as a kickstand as you kick out to the right and draw back in. And these can be pretty vigorous movements, or you can move more slowly, your choice. Use that left hand to ground that left thigh as you stretch out through that right leg and then draw it back to center. Now we'll draw the knee, the right knee across the body, keeping the hips on the ground though. So keep the hips grounded as you just draw that knee a couple inches towards center. And then moving that knee back to center, reach both legs long, both arms long. Feel the difference between right and left sides, right and left leg, and then we'll move to the other side. So draw the left knee into the chest, hug behind the thigh, and then begin to circle through the ankle. One direction, nice and easy, spread the toes, and then the other direction. The breath is steady. And then flex the foot and begin to lengthen that left leg towards the sky, any amount. And one leg might be a little more tight than the other. That's just fine. You can also use a strap behind the thigh if that gives you a little bit more length for the arms. Just lengthening and bending. And then stretch that leg long, stay. Let the dogs move around, and then we'll start to circle through that knee. So bend the knee, start to circle the knee in one direction, and then the other direction. And now we'll draw that knee out to the side. Use your hand and your elbow as a kickstand as you start to bend and straighten that left leg out to the left. Keep your right leg grounded as you bend and extend through that left leg off to the left side. Hold it for a moment, breathe. And bend the knee, come back to center and draw that knee just across the body. So keep the hips grounded. So maybe a little stretch in the outer hip, the outer leg there. You can turn your head to the left if you wish. Come back to center, kind of rock around a little bit, and then stretch nice and long. Nice big stretch. Draw both knees into the chest now. And we'll extend both legs to the sky and then tap the toes to the floor. So again, using your breath as you inhale, extend, as you exhale, tap the toes down, continuing to warm up through the legs, but also in the low belly. Try to keep the pelvis fairly stable here. And this can be a slow movement or a little bit more vigorous as you get more comfortable, but keeping the pelvis nice and stable. Notice what starts to heat up here as you relax, legs towards the sky, relax the feet. And then widen the feet away from each other, legs extended towards the sky. Widen as you inhale. As you exhale, use the inner thighs to draw the legs back together. And continue just like that, in and out. Belly draws towards the spine here, low back grounded, shoulders soft. Relax what doesn't need to be working. Press out through the heels. Moving back and forth. And now stay, keeping the feet wide and really push out through the heels, push out through the soles of the feet as you ground the back of the pelvis down. Again, the entire back body supported, jaw soft, shoulders soft here, and breathe. And then relax. Draw the knees back together. Circle, make some circles on the low back in one direction and then the other here, releasing any unnecessary tension. And draw the feet back to the floor, knees bent, heels close to the seat. We'll prepare for bridge pose. So as you inhale, press into the feet, the backs of the shoulders to lift the hips. And as you exhale, gently lower the hips to the floor. The legs should be pretty awake now and activated here. Start to use the glutes to press the hips towards the sky as you lift and lower. Again, nice smooth movements here. And now we'll stay in our bridge pose, a sustainable bridge pose here. Maybe shimmy the shoulder blades a little bit closer together underneath you. And find some stillness. Let the breath be free. So let the breath move into the front body, the chest, the rib cage. Gently lower down when you're ready, and let the knees sway from side to side. So again, just releasing any residual tension here. And come back, feet about hip distance apart, arms down by the sides. We'll lift into bridge pose, take some crossbody bridges. So as you'll see here, as I lift my hips, I reach up and over with my left arm across the body here, rolling onto that right shoulder. Really squeeze the glutes here as you lift, taking about 4 to 6 rounds. You can take a moment at the top of the movement and stretch. And notice how that feels in the body. Really lift the hips and then come back down. Reset here. And we'll make our way to the other side. Maybe you have a four-legged that's saying hi to you too, kind of helping you out as you move. Lift the hips and roll onto that left shoulder. Lift that right arm up and across the body. So these cross-body movements, good for opening up the body in a little different way. Working the brain in a little bit different way. Counteracting some of that rounding and hunching forward that we do most of our days. If you have a lot of driving to do, computer work, sitting a lot. Maybe hold there for an extra breath or two. Just feel that stretch and then release. Let the feet come wide, the knees wide, and rock the knees from side to side again. And now maybe we remain in the twist. So letting the knees fall to one side, look over the opposite shoulder. Maybe reach the arms in a loose way up and overhead. So elbows bend, hands soft, shoulders heavy. And let the muscles soften around the legs, the belly. Coming back to center. Shift as you need to. We'll make our way to the other side. So let the knees fall off to one side, turn the head the opposite direction. Release the arms overhead if that feels good. And then let the whole body soften as you let the breath be easy. And back to center, turn the head to center, arms come down, and bring the feet, knees back to center. Draw the knees into the chest one more time. Curl into a tight little ball, hug around the shins. And as you exhale, release. Making our way towards our final resting pose. You're welcome to take constructive rest here as you see with the knees bent, touching in towards center, the feet a little wider than the hips. Or traditional Shavasana, lengthening the legs long, let the feet flop open. In either position, let the arms come away from the body softly. Rotate the palms to face up. Relax the head and the neck, moving in any way you need to find stillness. And taking the next few moments here just to rest. Allow the body with every exhale to settle a little more deeply into the earth. Really feel the earth rise up to meet you and support this relaxation. And as you inhale, feeling the inhale come without effort, feel the entire body being recharged, revitalized for your day. Exhaling to let go, inhaling to draw energy into the body as you rest here. And beginning to deepen the breath, and gently coming back, and starting to wiggle the fingers and the toes, the head from side to side, maybe taking a big stretch. Bend the knees and roll to one side, resting your head and your arm around a blanket or a block or cushion. Using your hands to press up to all seat and back to where we began. As you sit with a nice tall spine, around the shoulders, hands rest in your lap. Take a moment and notice how you feel at the end of your practice. Taking in all the benefits, offering gratitude for the time you've taken for yourself today. And drawing your hands to heart center, gently bow the forehead towards the fingertips to close. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.